Good morning, Riversiders. Can you believe it's only a week since our last assembly? It seems like no time at all. I hope you are keeping safe. I hope you're okay, guys. I hope you're working hard. And I hope you're excited for the next assembly on the life of Jesus. Today, we are going to hear an incredible story about Jesus healing somebody who was paralysed. They couldn't walk. But there's so much more to the story than that. Jesus asks everybody there a question, which is, which do you think is easier? And it's not the answer that they expected at all. But what Jesus does really surprises everybody who was in the house at the time. I wonder if you've ever seen anybody really surprise you. I remember watching Britain's Got Talent a few years ago, and two guys came on and did an act which really surprised everybody, and it was really, really funny. It's one of my favourite clips of all time. So sit back and enjoy this, and tell me later on in the messages on YouTube if you were surprised by it as well.
Hello.
Hello,
Who are you two?
my name's Dimitri and this is Laggy, my son.
And how old are you both?
I'm 40.
I'm 12.
40 and 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it worry you? You might end up looking like your dad. No, you're right about it.
I'm not obliged to answer that.
Can you actually position yourselves now in your heads at the Royal Variety Show? The Queen's sitting in her box, and you think you've done that good enough for that, do you?
Well, if Prince Philip's there, we're halfway there because he's Greek as well.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Phil the Greek.
Okay, good luck.
See you in a sec.
Ladies and gentlemen, many years ago in Cyprus lived a man who loved to dance. He would dance for the villagers, and the villagers loved to watch him dance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, here for one night only, would you please welcome Mr. Stavros Flatley.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I love it. We're going to have our first song in a minute. In our story, what we find is that when a guy comes to Jesus, Jesus actually calls him his friend. So I thought we'll sing one that mentions Jesus being our friend. So we'll go for great, great, bro, bro, wicked, wicked, skill, skill. And then after that, we're going to play a little game, or I am, with my daughter Katie, all about which is easier. So enjoy great, great, brill, brill, wicked, wicked, skill, skill. Hope you enjoyed that song, Riversiders. So, as I said, I'm here with my daughter Katie.
Hi.
Some of you might recognise her. She has been in school a couple of times before. And we are going to play a game called Which is Easier, which is something that Jesus said as part of today's story. So I've been having a look at the Guinness Book of World Records, and I have come up with 6 world records, and we're going to put them against each other and figure out which one is easier. If it's number 1, we're going to hold up a 1. If it's number 2, we're going to hold up a 2. And you guys can play along at home as well. So our first one is this. The question is, which is easier? It's an eating challenge. So the world record for eating the most M&Ms in 1 minute is 92. And for eating the most cockroaches, I know, it's 36. So we're going to count down from 5 to 1, and then you vote 1 or 2. Which is easier? Eating the most M&Ms or eating the most cockroaches? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've gone cockroaches.
Yeah.
Why have you gone cockroaches?
Well, there's less to eat in a time if you're going to beat the world record.
Okay, but it's M&Ms. You'd be like, oh, nom, nom.
I like salty things. You just seem like you're quite salty.
Okay, hope you were playing along at home there. I'm not sure we agree. Right, number 2. Here's 2 more world records. This is the longest. Okay, so first of all, we've got the longest hug in the world ever was 24 hours and 33 minutes. And the longest walk ever was 19,019 miles. Okay, so which do you think is easier? 1 or 2? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's vote. You've gone for the longest walk.
Yeah.
Surely a hug would be a bit easier.
Even if you're like dedicated, just walking, like you forget about it after a while. You're hugging something, you've got to like concentrate.
I know, but in isolation, you can't hug at the minute. Nice hug would be nice. What's wrong with? Do you not like my hugs?
They're alright. Alright.
Okay, right. 3rd and final one, guys. So this time it's another longest one. This is a bit of a marathon. First one is the longest TV marathon. So watching TV constantly is 87 hours. I think we've probably done that.
Yeah.
More than isolation, to be fair. Maybe that's long enough. So yeah, no, 87 hours for that. And for the longest underwater swim, so swimming underwater without coming up, is 200 metres. So if you're at Guinea Gap, that's 25 metres. That's there and back 8 times. Okay, so which will be the easier? Watching TV or underwater swim? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Underwater swim.
I think I was like when I was 11.
800 metres.
800
I don't think you did 800 metres above water.
700 metres.
Oh, that's 8 lengths, isn't it? 200 metres. No, you never did. You watch 87 hours of TV. Anyway, that'd be easy for you.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yes, convinced her. Anyway, sometimes things seem a lot easier than they are. And in today's story, Jesus says something to the people around. Which do you think is easier? So let's hear today's story. So the story we're going to look at today is all about Jesus healing a guy. Now, it all started when Jesus was going around and lots of people came to see him. He was teaching everybody in a house and it was absolutely rammed. Everybody wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. And so did these guys. They wanted to not just see what Jesus was saying, but they really wanted him to help their friend. And so they brought him to the house where Jesus was. The problem with their friend was he was paralysed. That means that he couldn't walk, he couldn't move by himself. And so they had to physically bring him to Jesus. When they got there, there was no way that they could get into the house. So they came up with a plan. They thought, I know, we're going to get up on the roof. Now, it doesn't seem as hard as it would do nowadays, because in those days, all of the houses in the area had steps that would go up the side of the house onto the roof, and lots of people would spend time on their roof in the cool part of the day. But this next part of the plan was very different. They decided they were so desperate to get their friend to see Jesus that they actually made a hole in the roof of the house and lowered him down right into the middle of the house where Jesus was, right in front of Jesus. This is when Jesus said the really surprising thing. He said to the guy, everything that you've ever done wrong, I forgive you for it. Now, I'm sure that's not what the guy wanted to hear. I'm sure that's not why their friends brought him to Jesus. But it actually made some of the people in the house really, really cross. Like, really cross. Because they said there was only God that can do that. Only God can forgive you for all of the things that you've ever done wrong. And Jesus knew they were thinking that, and so he turned directly to them and he said, okay, which is easier? Which is where our quiz earlier on comes in. To say to this guy, everything you've ever done wrong, I forgive you for. Or to say, get up off your mat and walk. And Jesus said to them, so that you know that I have the power straight from God, that I am God's son, I'm going to do it. And so he turns to the guy and he says, get up off your mat and walk. And in full view of everybody, that's exactly what the guy does. He stands up, he takes his mat and he walks out of the house praising God. And nobody could believe it. They were gobsmacked. Jesus was so powerful that he could even tell somebody who'd never been able to walk to do just that. What an amazing story. It is an amazing story, isn't it? We see these guys bring their friends to Jesus and they are desperate to get him in front of Jesus so that he can heal him. And they go to really extreme lengths to see that happen. And yet when the guy is landed in front of Jesus' feet, Jesus really surprises everybody there. A bit like our dancing friend Stavros Flatley before. He says, everything you've ever done wrong, I forgive you. Now that's not what the guy wanted. But that really upset the people that were there because they knew that only God can do that. And so Jesus was claiming to be from God. But all the other characters that we've seen in the Life of Jesus assemblies so far knew that Jesus was special. And then he again and again he proved it. And he did it with this guy. He said to everybody, didn't he? He asked them that question, which is easier? And then he said to the guy, take your mat, get up and walk. And the guy did just exactly that. But why was it that Jesus first of all said that everything you've ever done wrong, I forgive you? Well, if you remember, all the things that we know about Jesus was, he always tells us that what's going on the inside is more important than what's going on the outside. Who we are really isn't all about our bodies and what we wear. It's about the type of person that we are on the inside. Are we loving and kind and caring? But the truth is that we all make mistakes. And that's one of the reasons that Jesus came, which we're going to think about next week as we think about the Easter story. He came so that all the mistakes that we make, that they can be taken away. If you think about when you do something wrong at school or at home, we get punished, don't we? And that's right, because when we mess up, there should be a punishment. But Jesus said, I don't want you to take all of the punishment for the things that you do wrong. I want to take that away from you. And that's why he came, to show us how much he loves us. That's how he showed us how much he loved us, because he came to take all of that away. And this guy was absolutely amazed that Jesus would do that for him. The other thing that we see in this story is how important friends are. The guy's friends were so important when they brought this guy to Jesus. They realised that he couldn't get there by himself. And they went to great lengths to make sure that their friend was cared for and was healed by Jesus. I want to be that type of friend, and I hope you do too. That when our friends need us, that we'll go to any lengths to make sure that we can do what we can for them, that we care for them, that we love them. And so we're going to think about a verse that helps us remember that. So it's time for this week's memory verse. This week's verse is from 1 John chapter 4, verse 7. And it says, dear friends, we should love each other because love comes from God. Should we say it together after 3? 1, 2, 3. Dear friends, we should love each other because love comes from God. 1 John chapter 4, verse 7. We're going to have our closing prayer now. So we're going to do the actions as we always do. Are you ready to copy? We go 1, 2, and 3. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you again for our assemblies. Even though we are stuck in our homes, that we can still stay connected in this way. And Lord, we thank you for this story. Father, we thank you for the way in which Jesus came to show us how much you love us. That he wants to forgive us for all of the wrong things that we do. But he also cares about our physical bodies as well. And Lord, I thank you for friends. And I pray that you'll help us to be a good friends, that we will care and love our friends and show them whenever we can how much they mean to us. And we pray all of these things in your precious name. Amen. 4. Brilliant. Okay, guys, today we've got a special treat to close our assembly and to let you know about what that means. It's over to Mr. Kenwright.
We interrupt this assembly with Mr. Dodd for a ukulele breakdown. Hello there. Yes, it's me. You can't see me, but you can see my ukulele. And this is going to be the first ever ukulele version of Nothing is Impossible. I'm going to need your help here to sing this because it's really hard to sing. But this is dedicated to all Riverside, obviously. But if you are learning the ukulele this year, aka my class, if you've got a uke at home, join in. I'm going to put the chords up on the screen. The chords are dead easy. There's only 4 chords, would you believe? And I'm going to flash them up for you. And then, well, anyone who's played the ukulele in the past at Riverside, join in too. So the chords are dead easy. It's C. Then we go up to G7 now. Then we do a minor miracle. Then we finish on Faith. Faith begins with an F, and that's an F chord, ladies and gentlemen. Then we slide on back to C. Dead easy. So it's C, G7, A minor, F, G. And it goes a little something like this, and I say it's really hard to sing this, so I'm going to try my best. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through you, I can do anything. I can do all things, 'cause it's you gives me strength. Nothing is impossible through you. Blind eyes are open. Strongholds are broken, 'cause I'm living by faith. Nothing is impossible.